Good evening and welcome to our discussion about tips for taking quizzes. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about just general tips for getting help. So we'll talk more about this when the time comes about how to get help on the midterm and exam. This is mostly going to be about taking your chapter quizzes and your video quizzes. For homework and labs, I want to make the point that there are lab sessions starting this week, lab help sessions. They are online. Let me talk quickly about how to get to those. Okay. So first, the schedule is linked, and let me show you that. Let me bring up our D2L, right? And it says link to lab sessions. This is the course homepage, link to lab sessions. And when you click on that, it will actually open Teams, which is where these are housed. So you go into Teams and you have all been added to a team that is called 1401 Lab Help Sessions. And here's when they happen. We have tomorrow at 1 p.m. Sorry, and all right, sorry. So I accidentally clicked into editing this, but you can see that tomorrow from 1 to 2:30 is my help session. Then tomorrow evening at 6 to 7:30 is Dr. Bailey's. And on Thursday, there are two more, Dr. Wagner and Professor Vellatini. Great. So if you want help on the labs that are due, and there's one due this week, then this is the way you get help. You may attend any of the four. Anyone in our classes may attend any of the four. All right, and all you have to do is go to our Teams channel and go to the general channel, and the link will be available to join the help session. Okay, so that's if we're talking about the homework or the labs, right? Now, specifically, we're talking about the labs. There may be time to answer homework questions. There may not. It just depends on how busy the lab session is. And so definitely start looking for which of those lab help session times is going to work for you. Okay. All right. But now we want to talk about the chapter quizzes and the video quizzes. So with the video quizzes, well, yeah, that's what I just said. Lab help sessions start this week. And definitely reach out in teams if you need any help. Okay. So the video quizzes. What video quizzes cover important topics and information. And by the way, folks, we're not trying to kill you with these. Most of the videos are only 5 or 6 minutes long or shorter. So they're very short videos that cover important material. And then let's talk about what constitutes cheating on a video quiz. First of all, listen carefully to what I'm saying. It is not cheating to have the video open while you're taking the quiz in D2L. Hear that again. It is not cheating to start the video playing and then open up the quiz. You are allowed to have the video open and playing while you're taking the quiz, okay? So, it isn't cheating. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get you to interact with this important information, ask a few multiple choice questions about this important information, and we're hoping that if you do that, you'll get a very good grade on the video quizzes. So that is not cheating. You may go ahead and have the video open and playing while you're taking the video quiz. Okay, and then let's talk about the chapter quizzes, okay? So these are about the textbook. So read your chapter in the textbook first. Know how to interact with the book. I'm going to go over that in just a moment. And when the quiz is open, be ready to do the interact. Okay, so in one tab, you'll be taking the quiz. In another tab, you will be ready and able to interact with the textbook. And if the question asks about the results of a code block, there is a nearly identical code block in the chapter that you should be able to access via Interact. Okay, so let's go over this. I'm going to take you through how to interact with. Okay, so we're back to our D2L homepage. So here's the link to the textbook, Inferential Thinking. And so then this is the homepage for the textbook. And here's chapter 1 and plotting the classics. We did this example in our um, teaching materials in our instructional videos, and you'll notice that this has code blocks. Okay, so let me say this carefully. If you click on Interact, you can see where I'm circling up here. If I click on the Interact button and there aren't code blocks, right, these code blocks right here, if there isn't a code block, then the Interact will fail. Okay, so you have to go to a section that actually has code blocks before you try to do this, but you click on UNG Interact. Okay, and it's going to take a second for it to load up. I am going to pause the video while it does. It's just the same as when we click on a lecture notebook. All right, so pause it, or I'm going to pause the video hopefully, and it'll take a few seconds. Okay, so I've waited a few seconds, and this is the textbook that has opened up. Notice that there is an initialization code block that I'm going to have it start, right? And when the asterisk goes away and I have a number sitting here, right? I wait for the asterisk to go away inside the square brackets and that to turn into a number. And when that happens, I know that it's executed, okay? And what am I saying? Well, I'm saying that I can go through and I can be ready in a text block like this, something that, oops, I'm sorry. I clicked on the wrong thing. So let me pause the video for just a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry for that little snafu there, but the code block we're talking about is the one right above this that produces this graphic. Okay, and what does this do? Well, this particular code block goes through the text of Huck Finn and it looks for the words Jim, Tom, and Huck. Now, those are the three main characters, but suppose they asked me about three other words. Okay, well, then I can just go to this code block right up here and I can change the things that tell it what words to look for. Okay, so let me jump up into this code block and I'll just point out that it turns out that Jim, Tom, and Huck, the words it's looking for, are in two places. Okay, and if I want to look for different words, I can put them in right here and right here, right? I can change them. One of them is going to change the words that look where the word it looks for, and it's going to produce the graph. And one of those is also going to change the legend, so I can tell which color is which word. Okay, so if the quiz asks me about words that appear in Huck Finn, I can use the code block that is right above this graphic to find it out, to do the changes. That's what we're talking about with the reading quiz. So what is smart is to go ahead and have the Interact open. There are usually only 2 or 3 sections in each chapter that has code blocks. And in the quiz questions, the reading quiz questions, they will have some code blocks or some questions that you can answer by tweaking a code block just a little bit. We're not asking you to write a bunch of code. As a matter of fact, we're really just asking you to look at the code and to make a change or two so that you have the answer that's available. We are not trying to make this difficult for you. Definitely not. We're trying to lay it out so that you can see the code block that's asked about or the code block that will work. You can tweak that code block and you can get the answer that you need to get a nice high grade on your quiz. So, to wrap things up, all right, with the video quizzes, it is not cheating to have the video quiz, the video open while you're taking the quiz itself. And same thing, it is not cheating to have the Interact open and ready to go as you start taking the reading quizzes, the chapter quizzes. Okay? So I'm hoping that that's good luck. Please make sure that you are ready to interact with the textbook or have already interacted with the textbook when you start to take the reading quizzes. All right? That's the best help I can offer. Good luck, everybody, and touch base with me on Teams if you need any additional help.